Hi Scorpio, I hope you guys are keeping well. Let's have a look at your current present energies and see what messages we've got coming up for you. Scorpio, please. What messages do we have for Scorpio at this time? How lovely. So, okay, Scorpio, some of you are pregnant, some of you are expecting, or some of you are thinking about having a baby, growing a family. But if that's not the case, imagine that the baby is symbolic of a project coming to fruition, something that you've been working on, growing, investing in, giving yourself to. And it's time to harvest, which is awesome. This is a fantastic energy to be in. This is, yeah, I have done the hard work and it's time to see the results of that. So you're on the verge of being able to reap the rewards of something, all those seeds that have been sown in the past, that have grown, and you've watered them and you've seen to them, you've nurtured them. Maybe it is a baby, and here is the lovely results of that. It's really nice. You've worked really hard, you deserve it, and also I think it will help you feel really fulfilled about who you are and about your identity. There's an idea here of feeling attractive because you've set your sights on something, you've set your goal on something, and you're working towards that, and it's fulfilling. And maybe if you are expecting, you're in blooming as well, and you have that pregnancy glow. There's all of this. So yeah, really, really fruitful time, fertile time, and profitable time. So this is a really nice place to start. Let's please clarify the Empress for Scorpio. I'm really paying attention to the harvest, to the fields, and some of you may be, this is a small message really, but it is pollen time, and it's really drawing my attention to the grass. So some of you may be dealing with allergies as well, can I just say, as a side point. What you're doing may be a little bit controversial or a little bit outside of the norm. So maybe, your entire life you've worked in one career and now you're changing, and this project that you're launching is different to anything that you've done before. So it might surprise people. Maybe, there's a baby coming and you're not married, or something that might for some seem untraditional or different. It's not a negative thing at all. It just actually shows that you are challenging your belief system. Whatever it is that is coming to fruition for you has allowed you to think about, actually, what do I think? What are my beliefs? What are my morals? And it's given you a lovely moral compass that you are proud of, that you believe in. And it's allowed you to reject anything that you've held on to before in the past as, the right thing to do, the wrong thing to do. And you're looking at things slightly differently, which is nice. The Hierophant as a religious card could imagine that under the umbrella of an actual religion that's perhaps strong in your community or your family. So that could play a part in it. But also it can point to marriage sometimes too. So with a baby and a marriage card here, maybe the idea of family and commitment and home is really, really important to you at this time. So one or the other, I'm getting two slightly different strains, but bear in mind this is a general reading, guys. So I am going to give you both strands for as long as I can. Anything else to clarify the Empress, please? So you may have found that because of your new situation, you're having to juggle a lot of different things, and that might be a bit difficult. But I actually think that this fruition of this project, this, if it is a baby or it's a career move or a project, a launch of something, whatever it is that you are harvesting, is allowing you to narrow your focus, which will be a really, really positive thing, rather than feeling that you're splitting your energy in so many different directions. I think, especially if we have got some entrepreneurial spirits here, you may have had to continue working as you've set up the project in the background, and that's difficult. And it's like sometimes if we try and split our energies too much, that we can't really bring anything anywhere. So coinciding with this message is a need to, if you haven't already, narrow your focus, and so that you can actually bring one thing to fruition. It might be that you've got lots of different ideas, but you're now going to just see one thing through right to the end before you start on the next one, rather than working on 4 different things and only each one of them are nudging only an inch at a time. Whereas if you focus your energy on one element, then you'll see huge progress in one area, which is the message here. I think that that's changing for you, which is a really positive thing. Anything else to clarify, please, for the Empress for Scorpio? The Empress, please. Anything else? Okay, so, oh yeah, a few things coming out here, just bear with me a second. Nice. Well, we've got the Empress clarifying the Empress, which is always just a really strong confirmation of the understanding of the Empress. And here we go again with this idea of something coming to fruition, harvesting, bringing something to life, whether that is a physical life, or maybe you're a new mother or father expecting, or it's a project, something you've been working on behind the scenes. Some of you have moved your business online, some of you are working in travel, some of you have to travel for your business. There's this idea of sort of the world, big ideas, far-reaching. So maybe you're reaching a global audience, getting a lot of traction on social media or YouTube, for example. But what I'm seeing is you're being very keen and alert and wanting to soak up as much information as you can, wanting to learn so that you can keep moving forwards. And also I think you're being very protective over everything that you've built. You may even be slightly nervous of presenting this thing to the world, especially if, like I said, it's slightly different than what you've been doing before, or it slightly breaks the norms of what is expected of you. But I wouldn't worry about that, because this is something that is very closely linked to you, who you are. In terms of, your birth chart, it would be something very natural for you, very fulfilling therefore, and fated. Certainly with these 2 cards here together, this is something that you are supposed to be doing. Therefore, we've got everything working in your favour in order to make that happen, and everything going well and coming into place, allowing you to focus all your energy on this one thing to make it successful. So that looks really, really nice. And I'm going to now see if we've got any other messages coming up for you. So what else do we have, please, for Scorpio? What other messages for Scorpio at this time? Any other messages, please, for Scorpio? I'll be amazed, Scorpio, if that's the only message we've got for you, because that is a very, very nice positive message, and honestly I'd be happy to leave it there. But we've got some more. Okay. Right. Okay, so yeah, a slightly different message coming in now for you guys. So there is a celebration of whatever it is that you are nurturing, which is lovely and expected. This idea of juggling is still here. And I feel, yeah, definitely, okay, so there was a need to elaborate on this Two of Pentacles. There's a little bit of self-doubt and worry on your part, Scorpio, which I feel is perhaps going to get in your way. And I'm wondering how much of this worry is to do with the idea that you're doing something a little bit different, a little bit unusual for you, let's say, or something you're worried maybe about judgment. And what I think it is as well is there's a focus on shortcomings rather than celebrating your strengths. Maybe you would consider yourself as a perfectionist, where even if you get 99% in a test, the thing that will annoy you and what you'll focus on is that 1%. What did you miss? What did you get wrong? So we're definitely going to elaborate, but there's a sense here of focusing on not the negatives, but what might go wrong, maybe worried about judgment, what might people say. So yeah, I'm really quite intrigued actually to see where we go with this. Before, I'm just taking in if have I missed anything. Do you ever feel like there's a boomerang effect, where there's an idea that you have and then you put away and then it comes back to you, and then if that's the case, it's saying that now really is the time to focus on whatever that thing is. That could be what it is. That could be the main message behind the Two of Pentacles. Time to focus, because there's a little bit of a sense of entrapment and feeling a bit stuck. But I wonder if you are hiding a little bit behind, because there was an idea earlier of worrying about really putting yourself out there. So is there a worry? And so you're hiding, but it could be that part of the success of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve might depend on putting yourself out there and being seen. Which, yeah, for some people I know isn't an issue, but for some people is really quite daunting, especially since I was seeing so many of you working online. So there's a little bit of a feeling like you can't move forward because these are the only options. So let's elaborate. Seven of Swords, please. Please clarify the 7. Oh. 8. Thank you. That's why. Please clarify the 8 of Swords for Scorpio. Why the 7? I did it again. 8 of Swords, please. There's something a bit sticky about that, so I'm going to move on. 9 of Wands, please clarify for Scorpio. Why the 9 of Wands here? What is causing this defense, this restriction? Wow, thank you, finally. Okay, what have we got? There might be someone who is a bit devious. There's a bit of an uncertainty regarding who you can trust. So you're worried particularly about being judged by somebody who is very different to you, because they just might not understand what it is that you're doing. Or there's somebody in your, if it's a business, for example, the advice would be just to be really sure that you trust this person. I kept saying the 7 of Swords. There's a bit of a lack of trust and a lack of certainty. A slight devious. Someone's a bit devious, and they're very firm in their beliefs, and they're very quick-witted, and they're very sharp in their tongue, and I think that you're worried about what they might say. What else? Anything further on the 8 of Swords now, please, that we have that clarified. I think you're worried that maybe they're the ones that look at your shortcomings rather than your strengths. And I think maybe you're hiding something from them. And that's what's stopping you from putting yourself out there completely. Anything further? No. All right. Please clarify the 2 of Pentacles. Wait. Whoa. Okay. Bear with me. There's influences around you which are concerning you. I think that these influences, they do care, and they do want what's best for you. They do want you to be happy, and I think that they know deep down that what you're doing is your passion and it makes you happy, but it could be Queen of Swords. This is why you're defensive. This was the block earlier from putting yourself out there, and I feel like there's one person or one group of people in particular that you're worried, because this is what makes you happy, and you're nervous that they're gonna secretly or even be open about how they feel about you doing things a bit differently, or doing something that they don't approve of, or never saw you doing, or don't feel like it's you or something, and you don't want to feel like you have to prove yourself. So I think you're nervous about how to find, this is possibly finding the right balance with dealing with this situation. How can you, 2 of Pentacles, please, how can you express to them that this is what makes you happy, and this is what gives you fulfillment, and you're not going to let it go. It can't leave you. I feel like this is why it's a boomerang. You feel like you've got to the end of this journey so many times, but it keeps coming back, and it keeps coming back. You're holding on to it, and it's holding on to you, and it's because it's meant to be there. Interesting. So it feels like this is a passion or a career move or a project, or maybe even a relationship with somebody who might not be approved of, or in a way that might not be approved. But, it really is external stuff here, Scorpio. Please clarify the 3 of Cups. Whoa, sorry. Three of Cups, please, for Scorpio. finding it interesting how quiet your cards are today. 3 of Cups, please, Scorpio. Thank you. So you are celebrating, and this is why I think you're so nervous, because you don't want anyone to ruin how you're feeling. You know, whether it is a child, a change of home, the fruition of a plan, it's really positive and it is something to celebrate. And this is why you're so nervous of putting it out there for criticism or jeopardy. And I totally get that, Scorpio. But what I'm seeing is that these feelings are because of external influences and not therefore necessarily something that should stop you. Easier said than done. I totally get it. Wow, that was a big one. Okay, anything further for Scorpio, please, before we close the session today? Any further messages for Scorpio to be aware of at this time, please? And don't worry about other people, Scorpio, and what they think, you know. Oh, have you heard Judge Not by Bob Marley? If you haven't, have a little listen and have a look at the lyrics. It's something like, for as long as you're judging somebody else, someone's judging you. Don't judge other people before you judge yourself. And I think it's actually a really great phrase to live by. Oh, thank you. Because it's causing you a lot of anxiety, Scorpio, but I think you're finding ways to come out of the anxiety, which is good. I think it has caused you a lot of anxiety in the past, and maybe you're learning to understand, learning to not let other people's judgments and get in your way, because why should you not do what you want to do? You know, do you ever see, here we go again, do you ever see other people, like say you've always wanted a career as a musician, but you didn't do that because you followed a path in something that you thought would be expected of you, and now you see other musicians and you think, well, they're a musician, why can't I be a musician? I think you're coming to terms with the idea that, you know, our lives are our own and we can make our own decisions, and you're entitled to be happy. You're entitled to bring your own gifts and your fruition, your talents and ideas to life, and that's, you know, that is helping you. And if some of you are pregnant, I think, or are expecting a baby, I think that that's even helping you to put yourself first and prioritise yourself, because you've got someone else to think of now as well. You're prioritising your baby so you can prioritise yourself. And imagine that your baby is your project and it matters to you so much that it's actually helping you to put yourself first and do what you want to do and what makes you happy. Okay, Scorpio, that's what I've got for you. I really hope that that's helped. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next one.